Hello. Welcome to Light, Shadow, and Everything in Between. I am your host, Sasha Sheldon. And on today's episode, we will be having Maxine Dillon on, who is a creative soul and spirit. She has a background in fashion design and then totally changed her career into being a healer and a guide that now helps to guide others through their own creative expression projects, working through those roadblocks and really finding all those parts of themselves, which she will go way into more depth and detail with her program and her offerings, which it's really beautiful to hear her connection to her own work and creativity and inspiration. And yeah, just all those layers that come up for those who dare to answer that call and live that very unique, authentic, different life that is asked of artists, creators, which is also, I feel like, the very same too with healers, because it's all, we're working with the same energy really at the end of the day. And yeah, just hearing more about her own evolutionary journey as an artist, but also as a healer, and how she came into that work and left her whole career and identity in the fashion industry, making that big life transition. And yeah, just all the things that come along the way that she's noticed in her own healing path, but also answering her own call to do the work and what she's witnessed with her own clients. I also want to say she offered, you'll hear at the end, about a free workshop will be presented and offered, but I know she has them more than once a year, so I would definitely, if this is something that you feel really called to work on once you've heard her speak, definitely sign up for her newsletter so you can get all the info when she offers another free workshop for creativity and the work that she does. I've done them myself, and every time it's a new experience, and I always learn something else about myself and my own relationship to that work, to the energy, or maybe what I'm coming up against within myself that's creating certain blocks. So I highly recommend. But till then, please enjoy this episode with Maxine Dillon. Hi, Maxine.
Hi, Sasha.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Of course. I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks. So far away. Well, so since I've got, a foot up, I know you pretty well. And I love that you have this beautiful combination of being an artist, a creative, and a healer, and a guide, and just the work that you now, especially more recently, I feel like have created to give to clients. But as far as on a personal level and in your adult life especially, like how have you noticed that art and creativity has kind of influenced or supported your spiritual path, your healing journey, and like vice versa, right? How they really hold each other and hold you when you're like working with both.
Yeah, I think it was a journey of having the language for it
Mm,
because it was always happening.
yeah,
And
like
I
throughout
think,
your whole life.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think back to like being a kid and how much I loved to draw, and I loved animation and movies, and
Mm,
how that would make me just kind of get into a zone
okay.
in a fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
And even like I played a lot of sports too,
Okay.
and I could get into that zone when I played basketball.
Oh, interesting. So what was that like? What does that feel like,
So
especially in that athletic zone versus like a painting or drawing?
yeah, it's like sometimes it would just happen. I could feel something click and I would make every basket. Every shot would just go in. And then sometimes I could actually will myself there. It was like a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to any kind of creative flow. I think athletes, know this really well too. You get
Yeah, and
into a
I
flow and you're there.
totally. Yeah, and that's something I haven't really grasped or appreciated until maybe the last 6 years or so, just because of a relationship I was in, and he was a basketball player, and like I
Mm.
then was watching basketball. I'm like, oh, I get
Yeah,
it.
it's magic.
Yeah, truly
And then the
watching them
whole
from like,
team locks in too, together.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
it's like
fascinating
ballet.
to watch. 100%. They become this. You can really see how like one consciousness
Yeah.
plays out like on a court. It's
Hmm.
wild. I love to see it. I appreciate it in such a different way. Like I used to be so bored or like I don't get this. Like when I was
Uh-huh.
younger, I just didn't because I didn't like martial arts and stuff like that. But you're not really like in a team environment. I feel like that changes things up.
Hmm.
Um, so do you feel like you notice that more so like in that like collaborative experience, like getting in that kind of space or zone?
Yeah. Now my work is very solitary,
Mm-hmm.
but through the years, I went to school for fashion and
Right.
then worked as a designer for 15 years and did a ton of collaborating, worked with teams and had lots of coworkers. And yeah, it's interesting to think about the difference between getting into your flow state individually
Mm-hmm.
versus with a team.
I'm sure, yeah, there's similarities and then some differences because how can it not be? But do you feel like you notice what that what is the same and what is different then from, say, like your past life being so collaborative in that field and then now the work that you're doing today?
Yeah, it's a different feeling. It's a different kind of work too. So
Mm-hmm.
um, sometimes what I need now, since I'm more solitary in my creative process, like with
Mm.
writing, or I need to go out into the world and interact with people, and maybe see art or see a film or go to a talk and then come back and process
Mm-hmm.
versus my life where I'm going to an office every day
Mm-hmm.
and I'm, collaborating with tons of people. That's there for you, um, versus sometimes generating it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also thinking of the difference between that and those moments where things just kind of pop in,
Mm-hmm.
like an idea just falls in your lap, or you feel, yeah, you feel expanded and you get a download of
Mm-hmm.
information.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this. Yeah, where do you think or feel, or maybe just like through your own personal connection, yeah, like where inspiration comes from, or those like downloads or an idea for like a project? Um, yeah, how has that shown itself to you, and or like certain bodily things that come in, or it's just like, oh, I know this thing now. I don't know why, but now
Yeah, yeah.
here it is.
I loved learning the etymology of the word inspiration.
Mm,
It comes from the Latin inspirare, which literally means to breathe in and blow out the light of God.
mm,
So I think of inspiration as a divine energy,
hmm.
and it has healing frequencies.
Yeah.
And when it comes in, every artist knows this feeling. It's like, oh, the ideas are coming in. You start to get excited about what you want to make, and it's maybe not totally clear, but the vision is taking form.
Hmm.
And then the process of that, that has to work its way through your body.
Yeah, like that energy has to be like slowly digested.
Yes.
Um, yeah.
And
Hmm.
that is actually a healing journey as well.
Yeah, like taking, like consuming that energy or like frequency of that
Yeah.
idea, inspiration. Hmm.
And I think when you fully digest it, as you said, and you share it with the world,
Hmm.
it helps you embody that energy, encourages you to be the most authentic version of yourself. And then when you share that, that can sometimes be really vulnerable.
I think being an artist is vulnerable
Yeah,
life.
absolutely.
Like you're just wearing your heart on your sleeve almost every day. Yeah, it's not an easy path. Yeah, I remember you speaking to this embodiment piece, especially with like what you're offering to other creatives and what you've witnessed
Hmm.
them go through. Yeah, what have you noticed just in this practice and this yeah, like new program that you've birthed, like witnessing others like going through that embodiment? Like what does it take for them to kind of get there? And then how have you noticed their embodiment of that work that they're pouring into? Like how does it manifest for
Yeah,
them?
the one of the main intentions of this space that I'm offering is for my clients to connect with their deepest creative longing.
Mm,
So that's, when you have a longing, that's usually something that's been with you your whole life.
yeah.
And being an artist and a creative professional, you're having to integrate your passion, this thing that you love so much, and you have to
Hmm.
integrate it into an industry that, honestly doesn't really care about your passion.
Yeah.
Uh, and so a lot can happen in that
Mhm.
integration. And uh, so I like to offer my space as a moment for you to take your art out of the industry, connect with your deepest longing, and let it guide you. It's like, what
Mhm.
if you had a moment where you didn't have to think about it making money for you?
Mhm.
And maybe it's not totally clear yet, too. It's just a strong feeling inside. So as we walk down that path and you continue to say yes to your longing, um, what I've seen happen is expansion. So, um, and I'm using that word in terms of the energetics of it. So your energy field is always going through expansion and contraction.
Mhm.
So when we get inspired, our energy field is opening up, it's expanding, and it's allowing the inspiration to come through.
Mhm.
So the longing, connecting to the longing in your heart is think of it like a walkie-talkie to
Mhm.
inspiration.
Yeah, or
It's,
like the muses or something like.
yeah, the muse, letting the
Mhm.
muse guide you. And so what I've noticed is having that quiet space to really tune into the longing, open up to inspiration, then the ideas start to flow more freely. So unpacking that, just having a place to say it out loud,
Mm.
starts to form the vision. And then what I do is I just reflect the vision back to them.
Okay.
I'm not giving advice. I'm not giving them ideas.
Mhm.
I'm really listening deeply to their longing and what's coming through. And I'm
Mhm.
tapping into the energy of it. So
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is potent. There's an emotional charge here, or um, I'm noticing them light up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always pointing them towards that and reflecting that to them.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed also happens is after a session, like let's say we have a session where there's a lot of expansion that happens, um, opportunities start to come in.
Yeah. They're like in their purpose in that flow state. So it's like attractive. Yeah. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
sometimes the opportunities are actually out of alignment. That's what's
Mm,
interesting. Interesting too.
yeah. Yeah. So do you feel like there is this, like, because I know the universe does this. It's so hilarious how it loves to test us. Like, what do you
Oh
really
yeah,
want? Like, what do you actually want? Like, it's almost like an old dream versus new dream, or yeah, like,
yeah,
is it, yeah, just a right fit or not? Yeah. And not to chase every shiny thing. Say, like, so that does come up for them then. Interesting.
yes.
Okay.
And I think that, sometimes I don't like to think about it as a test,
Mm-hmm.
even though it can really feel that way.
Feel Yeah, I'm like, I don't
Um,
know what other word to use because it definitely can feel that way.
it really feels that way. So the next part is trusting your body, the wisdom of your body.
Mm-hmm.
So as the opportunities come in, how does your body respond to it? Is it closing up? Is it contracting?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you get nervous, or do you feel yourself opening up to the opportunity? It feels exciting. Um, and there's also just like stasis. It's not always expanded and contraction. There's
Mm-hmm.
always like, a stasis moment where like, oh, this actually feels very calm. And
Yeah.
I can do that. And uh, one of the tools I learned from a teacher is a way to navigate that, navigate the opportunities and how they feel in your body is yes, yes, hell no, and no, no, hell no.
Mm-hmm. I remember you mentioning it, but yeah, can you speak more to that?
Yeah. So usually, when an opportunity comes in,
Mm-hmm.
it you will feel a yes mixed in with a no. I'm not saying that this always happens, but one way that might happen is there's a yes there. It's like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. Oh, but that's really scary and you know,
Unknown. I'm like, yeah.
yeah, really vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff from the past is coming up.
Yeah.
So that's where you want to explore the option, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's some support needed to move through the fear
Yeah.
and open up to the yes. So you want to explore the yes and what's in the way of that yes. But a no, no, hell no, it's just a no all the way through. There's no part of you wants this. It's like, listen to that no.
Mm-hmm.
Don't push through it. A lot of times we're conditioned to push through our no.
Yep.
And sometimes it won't make sense because on paper it looks like a good
Right.
opportunity,
It's like, oh, but they're
right?
paying me well, or this or
Yeah.
that. Like, it'll look good on my resume.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. Yeah. Yeah, those can be really hard, especially when everyone else like doesn't get it, but you know for yourself it's out of alignment.
Yes. Yeah. And then
You
you
know,
start
I would,
asking advice. Like, oh,
or
should I
that too,
do
yeah.
this?
And
Yeah.
then, yeah, it's a lot of outside noise making it more confusing. Yeah, I used to do a little bit too much of that in the past. Too many opinions.
Yeah. That's like opinion paralysis. Just like, I don't know
Yeah.
now. I have no idea.
Well, speaking to that, it brings me back to something I wanted to ask about, those certain almost fears or blocks that I feel like come up, especially for artists or just creativity or not being in that flow state. I know sometimes I've caught myself like, am I ever gonna like have an idea again or be able
Hmm.
to make some or just all my good ideas have come and gone. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and especially too with the healing work that you do, whether this is if you want to tie it back to yourself, clients, or both. Yeah, just how you work through that, whether it's shadow work, trauma work, healing, balanced with the light work, because it can all be so deep and intense. But yeah, how do you find what really tools you kind of go back to that are super supportive and helpful to work through those more challenging times?
Yeah, I think that becoming aware of subtle energy,
Mm,
like learning what it is and how it informs your life, was really, really helpful for me. So, just from personal experience, when I was working with an energy healer, she really helped me ground my energy and stay in my body, like
mm-hmm.
stay centered in myself. Um, not everyone has this pattern, but for me, I would energetically leave my body when I get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So, in psychology, they call it disassociation.
Yeah.
Um, I really needed to learn to stay in order to
Mm-hmm.
make conscious decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So once I was able to, I'll give you an example. When I was working in fashion, the last job that I had was highly stressful, and I would call a toxic work environment because of the constant stress that I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I finally learned, and this took years actually, but when I finally learned to stay centered consistently, I could no longer step foot in the office. Like I felt physically like I can't be here any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a catalyst for me to leave. And that's a really important moment. It's not anything, it's not a specific thing that happened.
Yeah, like
That
not
was like,
one event
yeah.
or like, yeah.
Um, so as far as tools go, like,
Yeah.
grounding, and also
Mm-hmm.
learning how we use our energy in relationships, the energy dynamics that are happening. And so
Mm-hmm.
um, I learned that there's 4 ways that we use our energy in relationships. And that's push, pull, stop,
Mm-hmm.
and allow.
Okay. Makes sense.
So I would love, for anyone who's listening to this too, to just, moving forward, see if you can start to notice even the energy under someone's words
Mm,
and how they're using their words. Are they pushing you to do something?
mm-hmm.
Um, and there's positive and negative ways in which people do that. Like a push can be a healthy push, right?
Totally.
Encouragement,
Like, mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
it can be, a violation of a boundary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or a
Mm.
pull, when you can feel that someone is sucking energy or, pulling at your heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
And then noticing how your system automatically reacts to that. And that was just really a game changer for me because I realized that a lot of my work relationships were a push. Like I was being pushed beyond my capacity,
Mm-hmm.
and I was I was allowing that to occur. So when I learned to put up a boundary,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately saw who cares about me and who doesn't,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. I feel like a lot of us, especially when we start doing like the healing work and we start putting up those stops with like family, like, like I
Yeah,
think we really start to notice
they
like,
don't like it so much.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I can imagine a work environment, especially fashion is its own unique
Oh,
beast.
it's
It
push,
can
push,
be.
push, push, push,
Yeah.
push. You know, there's like one season after another one after another one, never ends. It's all
Uh-huh.
deadline driven. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. And yeah, so you're saying, so you learned some of these techniques and tools while you were still in that industry, and that's what helped like you start to really see the truth of what was occurring. Okay,
Yes.
so what led you then? So you're okay. So Maxine, young Maxine. I mean, you're still young. Um, you're working in fashion and thinking like this is going to be your life, your career, your whole
Yeah. It's
everything,
my
your
passion. Yeah.
identity wrapped around it,
Yeah.
I'm sure, in so many ways. And then, so what brought you then to start wanting to do some of that deeper work while you're still very much in this, I feel like a place and environment that doesn't really support that or make space even for that to occur?
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
none of that. Well, the first, really my doorway to it was having chronic health issues.
Mm, okay.
So I had food allergies and I had chronic hives and some chronic pain. And I went the Western medicine route and nothing helped. So I started just learning about alternative practitioners, different healing
Hmm.
modalities. Um, I went, saw a chiropractor and acupuncturist and did all kinds of different things, nutritionists, and everything helped.
Mm,
Uh, but the thing that really just turned everything around for me was energy healing. And I think of it almost like I was going through all the layers. The physical, so first was the physical body,
hmm.
doing chiropractic adjustments and changing my diet. Okay, I'm starting to feel better. And then I'm doing acupuncture, and that acupuncture is energy work.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember I was having a lot of emotional releases, like just crying on the table a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was young and I didn't have the language for it, and I thought that there was something wrong with me.
Mm,
I was like asking the practitioner, why am I crying so much? What's going on? What's wrong with me? And she said, there's nothing, this is good. It's
mm,
releasing. And she was the one that referred me to an energy healer. She was like, have you ever tried energy healing? And I said, no, you believe me?
cut to. Woo! No, weirdo.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember my first session, I was just blown away. The hands-on healing
Mm,
was just exactly what I needed. And so I continued to see my healer once a week for 4 years.
okay.
And that's while I was working full time as a designer.
Yeah, so you're
And
still
she,
in it for that whole time.
yeah, it
Not-
actually aligned perfectly. Like I had gotten a new job in 2011, and then I met this energy healer. And so I was with her for 4 years, and my work expanded too. Like I felt, let's see, I was 29 then, and I just, going into my 30s, and I'm like really starting to anchor into my style and
Mhm.
the work that I'm doing and growing and growing and growing. And then realizing, no, I don't feel good here. This maybe isn't right for me. I don't know. I don't know if I have the capacity to like go, go, go like this. Um,
Mhm.
so my healer was um, recommending that I do the training. She's like, well, have you ever considered doing energy healing yourself? A lot of my intuitive gifts were starting to open up.
Yeah.
And I was always like, no, I'm a designer. I have no interest in this. And I eventually said yes, and I did the training. And that's when I left my job. Was I graduated from my healer's training, and then I immediately left my career in fashion and I started my healing practice.
So was that around your Jesus year? Were you like 33?
I believe I was 35.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah,
that was wild.
yeah.
Okay.
But I
But
think
you
I
were going
started
through
my
that whole
training.
process. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, you started the training like around,
actually, I would have been 34, I think. But yeah,
but yeah.
around that time.
Mm-hmm.
It was two
Interesting.
years of
Okay.
training. And yeah, that was a huge transition for me. And I learned so much
Mm-hmm.
about changing careers and changing your like the style and structure of the way that you work,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm coming out of like such an intense industry, and now I'm starting my own healing practice, and I don't want to take the things that I learned from the fashion industry and use those in my healing practice. So, and that takes time to kind of unravel that.
Oh, yeah.
So I really I focused on supporting creative professionals in leaving their jobs.
Right.
That was like the first iteration of my program,
Mm-hmm.
um, and did that for, let's see, I think it was 5 years of focusing on that. So
Mm-hmm.
some of my classes were like, quit your job and transform your career.
Mm-hmm.
We created a
I love,
process to help
yeah.
artists do that.
Because you lived it, you embodied that process,
Yes,
that work, like,
yes.
which I think is the most potent, like really fully teaching from experience, like guiding from that place. Yeah. So what was that like? Did you also then have, I'm assuming, a lot of grief too, then wrapped up in still like leaving, even though I know it became so toxic for you to be in that industry and at that particular job? Like, did you kind of fully, or did you feel like you had to fully let go of some of those parts of you, like the creative parts or that part that identified as a designer, so then you could step into this other role? Like, how did that
Yeah,
release and transformation kind of occur for you?
yeah. I definitely went through a designer identity death.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't feel cool anymore.
Mm.
I had attachment to that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember meeting up with a coworker, a designer who, after I left my job, and I was excited to talk to her about my healing practice, and she said, "Oh yeah, I heard about this. I was talking to so and so, and we were laughing about you playing with your crystals." And I was like, "Ouch!" I was so embarrassed. Like, oh, okay, so everyone just thinks I'm like some woo woo weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so stuff like that occurred, and um, but honestly, it didn't last very long because I really love the work so much, and I evolved into it
Mm-hmm.
over time. So even though it felt like this huge contrast,
Yeah.
like I left this world and I'm in this new world, and that was a
Mm-hmm.
little jarring. It really was such a process over years,
Right.
and I was ready to step into it,
Mm-hmm.
and so many gifts came. Like I was thrilled with the response I was getting
Mm-hmm.
from um, from creatives that are working with me. They were like, "This is so needed." I was seeing transformation happen in the healing room. So that really helped me stay steady and not doubt my decision too much.
Yeah, totally. Have you found ways, since your medium, like creative medium, was so heavily in the more like fashion world, like do you still find time or parts of you to express yourself with creating clothing? Or I know you mentioned in the beginning, like you're getting into writing, like working on a script. I know you're supporting so many writers at this time too with the work that you're doing. So yeah, you find, is your medium transforming now in this phase of your life of how you want to express like those parts of yourself as an artist?
Yeah, it was hard to let go of
Mm-hmm.
designing clothing. I miss designing, but I don't miss the industry at all.
Yeah.
I really don't miss working, and I've found ways to make clothes for myself or for friends and do that. But
Mm-hmm.
um, my main medium has been writing since I started my practice, and I've found that to be the word I'm looking for. Like I get to process the work that I'm doing with others,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, insights come through. So I think like for me that's the easiest way for me to get into a flow state now is writing.
Do
Yeah.
you really
And
feel that
then
too when you're like freehand, like channeling kind of versus typing?
yes,
It's so
yes,
different. Yeah.
yeah, it is different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it'll happen for me typing too, though.
Okay.
I when I'm handwriting, I do feel it more viscerally in the body,
Yeah,
and when I'm typing, I feel it more like drop in.
totally. 100% agree. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
The different experience.
Hmm. So how long have you
Yeah.
been more on the writing journey then, as far as your creative medium?
Since I started my practice, so 2016,
Okay.
um, writing every day and creating curriculum, meditations and insights for my clients and creating programs and um, what else? Yeah, I guess what's kind of naturally happened from that too is now I have more and more clients who are writers,
Hmm.
and that's
And
been really fun.
you create it well in the program too, like what you're offering has changed since what you first
Yes.
like were offering in the beginning of your business. You want to speak, I want to hear like share more with all of us the creative sphere, right?
Yes.
And what that entails, how that came to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to also share this, like the
Your
arc of
journey.
that
Yeah.
journey too, and how it changed. Because,
Hmm.
like I said before, I was focusing on career transition. So
Right.
I created a program called You Are a Healer because
Hmm.
I really believe that all artists are healers,
Yeah.
and your work holds a healing frequency. And when you become aware of that and you use your intention that way, it's
Hmm.
a very potent transmission. And so when you share it, um, it really resonates with people. And
Hmm.
so the intention of that program is to help you transition out of a career that's, soul sucking and draining you creatively and really um, embodying what you want to make and to create financial stability with that.
Hmm.
So and I did that from 2016 till 2022.
Hmm.
And around 2021, I started to feel this kind of like different energy
Yeah,
coming
I
in.
remember that.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I think something in my work is going to change, but I have no idea what it looks like. I'm like, I'm just mental note that. And then the next year, I think it was 2023, I wake up, it's like 3 a.m. I just wake up. And then I start to hear inspiration, intuition, imagination, instincts, intention, just these words coming in, and I'm like, all right. It was what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of jarring. It kept me awake, and then
Mhm.
I better write this down. So I wrote these 5 words down.
Like a lightning bolt almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I let that guide me.
Mm.
I had no idea what it was for. I just knew like, oh, these are like 5 of my favorite things, right? And when I'm working with clients,
Mhm.
and the the major shift that happened was I kind of moved out of trauma and healing, or um, a focus on the trauma,
Mhm.
right? Like holding space for trauma to move it out of the body, so then you can XYZ,
Mhm.
right? You can create the life that you want. You can create the work that you want. So a shift out of that into a focus on creativity and your intuitive senses and your imagination and willpower, to make things happen, take action and intention in your work. When you focus on that, the healing just occurs.
Hmm.
You don't actually have to put the focus on the trauma. Because what I did see sometimes is clients wanting to dig and dig and dig.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's
Stuff.
it's
Yeah.
endless.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I
you
mean, you
can
can
dig.
spend the rest of your life digging.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So as a practitioner, my job is to create a space where you go to the underworld
Yep.
and you excavate.
Yeah. Doing the
But
shadow work.
then
Yeah.
doing the shadow work, yeah. But also I'm help to pull you out of
Mhm.
there too,
Yeah.
and gather what you learned in the underworld, and you know, help you embody and get more clear on your purpose, and how you want to share that.
Mhm.
And um, I think that creativity is a byproduct of that.
Mm.
You, you, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
No,
But
it's okay. Oh, I was gonna speak to the, yeah, how you were saying those things with the creative sphere, and just focusing on those 5 key parts, that the creativity creates that space where you don't have to focus so heavily on the trauma because the healing happens. But when
yes,
you spoke to the willpower, the ability to take action, I just wonder if there is certain trauma, though, that almost still sometimes has to be sat with, or shadows in that department,
yes,
because there is this, whether it's the inner critic or actual abuse from your parents, whatever the thing or person is, or some ghost from your past that is keeping you hostage in your own life from moving forward. So how do
yes,
you kind of support them through that piece? And yeah, like when you notice it pops up, because I'm sure, yeah, again, that it would, at least for some people, because to get
yeah,
out of that freeze state, or um yeah, just fear of actual success or rejection that comes with putting yourself out there in such a vulnerable way.
yeah.
Um,
All those things.
yeah.
So the the difference is when you say yes to your creative longing,
Hmm.
and the inspiration that really wants to express itself through you, all of the shit comes up. So um, for me, I like this lens because I don't have to go to the trauma first. It's like
Mm-hmm.
in the creative process, it starts to arise. So
Mm-hmm.
we say yes to that too. There's endless amounts of space for the client to um, respond to what is arising in the moment. So let's say, and the creative process is actually a guide. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you an example. The framework that I work with in the creative sphere is called the 5 I's. So that's inspiration, intuition, instincts, imagination, and intention. So we start with inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And as the energy comes in, sometimes it starts there. The There might be a trigger
Mm-hmm.
as you say yes to your creative energy. You start to feel that excitement in your body. There could be
Mm-hmm.
nervousness, right? Or tension. So that's one way that it expresses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or when you say yes to your intuitive gifts, right? So many of us grow up being the intuitive, sensitive one, and somebody shuts us down
Mm-hmm.
for speaking the truth. So that's another big block that I
Yeah.
see. Instincts too is huge. This is such a big one for women.
Mm-hmm.
We Because we are taught to
Override.
deny,
Yeah.
yeah, override our bodies, the wisdom of our bodies. And
Mm-hmm.
the way that I like to teach the difference between intuition and instincts is um, your intuitive senses will tell you what's like coming towards you. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually your energy field will give you information about what's coming towards you. Your instincts is biological, it's happening in your body, and it will always give you the action step. So, I mean, how many times can you remember someone growing up, like to shutting down your action step, your instinct, the way that
Mm-hmm.
you take action in the world and use your energy. Mm. So,
Yeah.
so much comes up there. And this is all, energy that gets stuck in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Your body holds on to it
Right.
until you feel safe enough to release it. And that's a big part of my work too, is that I'm creating a container for my
Mm-hmm.
clients to feel safe enough to move that energy. And I feel that often the number one way to do that is to create something and put it out into the world. That really moves the energy.
Yeah. Totally. Just like why I even love, yeah, like dancing. If you've just been sitting all day or like stagnant, stewing in something, it's like, okay, like I need to like,
Move.
yeah, that is not working for me. So I need to do something else. Yeah, I can totally see that in the same way, but it'll, yeah, much larger scale with a project. Mm. So how did that even, since I know you teach so much from your own embodied experience, yeah, how did that start to also transform for you, not just starting to get like the downloads and the awareness and insight that something different was coming for you? Like what did spirit, the universe then ask of you? Like what was your own journey to then be able to really like show up in this way for other people and be that guide?
Yeah, so it was it's been actually a long process of getting clear
Mm,
on what it is that I'm offering.
mm-hmm,
And um, I went from, when I started my practice, things happened really quickly. And so now I'm changing my approach. I'm creating a new program, and it's not happening as quickly. Like, people are maybe, I'm having the experience, or I did when I created it, um, people are not attracted to it in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I realize how valuable that's been for me, because I've had now both experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and that one is not better than the other. 'Cause I think, of course, anybody who creates something new, they want to put it out into the world and get an immediate response and have it generate money and do all the things.
Yeah.
But this process has been slow, and I think it's intentional, and I'm learning as I go, and I'm embodying devotion. And this is the thing. Like, what as an artist, what are you willing to devote yourself to, even when it's not working as well?
Yeah. Because there will be a lot of not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
How do
it
you
took a
keep
few
going?
years, and now it's shifted and it's
Mm-hmm.
flowing, and I have more alignment with my clients, in that, um like, in the when you start something, you're like, yes to everyone.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah. Especially as
And
like a new in the business. You're like, yeah, okay. I want to help
yeah,
all of
I
you.
say I say yes to everything.
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Had to learn that one the hard way, but it's okay.
Yeah. I do think it's like an initiation as a healer too. Like, when you're a healing practitioner, you're learning boundaries and what you can and can't hold.
Oh yeah.
Um, so a lot of it's life experience too, just getting clear on, um, what you're offering. And yeah, but that devotion piece is it's
Mm,
been it's been a major tool. It's like, yeah, it's been a game changer for me. And so I'm
yeah.
really holding that too as an intention for my containers, like for artists. Like, what feels good in that devotion as well? Meaning, um, what are you willing to work through? Like, what challenge, what thing do you want to say yes to, and let the challenges come up, and you're still, engaged with it? Like, what's the thing that you can't stop doing even if you tried?
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I hear that all the time. People like, what would you keep doing even if you never got paid for it? Or if, yeah, it just, you still had obstacles, but whatever, some part of you, your heart, your soul, but it's just like you must do this thing or you will die almost. Like it
Yeah,
just,
I can feel that way.
yeah. It is such a
For
part
sure.
of you. Um, and even if it makes you feel crazy some days, it still somehow is keeping you sane. It's really funny that
Yeah,
way.
it's how you process the world around you.
Uh, well, speaking to, I mean, I love that you brought that word devotion. That has been coming up a lot for me the last, I want to say 2 years. So
Mm,
I've been sitting with that word a lot myself. Um, I love that more than discipline. Like discipline sometimes can feel
yes,
like that, like
yes.
you've got like some
Like a
sergeant over your shoulder.
teacher, yeah,
Yeah, I'm like,
like a punishment.
yeah, maybe devotion. I like that. But yeah, even so, you being devoted to this work, this new program and offering, and when you switch that lens to just a creative project for someone else as a guide or yourself going through your own
Yeah,
initiation with sticking with this
yes,
program, like
that's right.
how do you know, like what is the knowing for you to know when to kind of walk away from a thing? Because some of it, like sometimes it's like, like, oh, this thing is done, it's not working, like I'm forcing too much, it's time to walk
Yeah,
away to create space for something else. Or like, when do you know, like, no, I gotta double down, this is teaching me devotion, patience, faith, what have you. Like, how have you experienced and, yeah, created that knowing within yourself, what that looks like in your life?
Yeah, it's such an important question. And I think it can be really hard to identify.
Mhm.
Um, so, like, I'll just speak from my personal experiences. The so the way that I'm working is changing, and yet I think what happened was I was using a bit of an old model
Mhm.
still in the new way.
Okay.
So um, I had to look at that. So was kind of holding rigid to a way that I was, so like a business model, I guess I'll call it.
Yeah, that's what I was worried, like, almost like a old business coaching model that so many of us were kinda leaning on. It's like, "Oh, it doesn't work anymore."
Yeah,
So much has changed. Yeah.
so much is changing,
Yeah.
and it's time to pivot.
Mhm.
And I got the inspirational download, so I'm pivoting
Mhm.
majorly, but I'm holding on to this model that is maybe not totally working. And
Mhm.
so I had to find that split in me.
Mhm.
So to answer your question, I think that would be the tool that I would use to help a client is usually so anytime we've created something and it's not working out, right? It's not moving, it's not getting attention. What tends to be there is there's a split in the intention. So what that would maybe look like is I want to expand my work and reach a wider audience and be authentic.
Mhm.
And I want to do it in a way that I make sure I'm not judged for it. And everybody likes it. And I don't have to deal with conflict. And, you know, so when there's a split, there's usually a fear.
Mhm.
And so you have to name the fear that's arising and creating the split. Um, Something that's big for me too is I had a baby, and so then I had to try to balance my client load with time with my daughter. And in some ways, I'm not willing to give up time with my daughter. You know, I want to be able to do certain things, pick her up from school, do activities with her, and
Mhm.
so I I'm not able to put 100% of my day into my work. And that creates a split for me because I want certain things out of my work. I want to create an impact um, and I don't always have the time to do that.
No.
So sometimes you have to hold both.
And just find your way to accept it is what it is.
The reality of the situation.
And just do your best to
Do your best, yeah.
make it work. Bring it back to fashion.
Did I answer your question? Because I'm
Yeah, I
thinking
think the piece,
about,
like you're
yeah,
saying, sitting with the split and like naming, like there is some underlying fear then that is creating this friction of something not working. That totally
yeah,
makes sense to me. Yeah, whether again, yeah, it could usually success, rejection, yeah, not enough, being too much. I feel like so many of those things that come up, but they're like, no, yeah, I want to be big. I want everyone to know my name and be a best-selling author. It's like, do you?
yeah.
That comes with a lot of things.
What I've learned for myself too is like do I have the capacity? You know, like,
Yeah.
do I
It,
have the energy and capacity to hold that? Can I
yeah, knowing
receive
the
it?
difference. Oh God, receiving,
That's huge.
especially for women.
Yeah,
What a wound. Yeah, being able to actually receive what comes with, yeah, putting your work out there. Like the good, like, oh, can you actually hold all the good stuff that's gonna come your way? Do you know that you
right.
deserve it?
Yeah,
You know, freak out and hide in a hole.
yeah. It's a lot to, and it, so that's that navigation piece of like the yes, yes, hell no, and the no, no, hell no. When you're
Mhm.
receiving even compliments, right? Just think about
Yeah.
how it feels to receive a compliment from someone, and what your energy system does in
Yeah, and
response to it.
yeah, and I've noticed that too, to nerd out about like human design being a projector is like we want to be recognized because we're here to always see everyone else. So
Mm,
we deeply want to be seen by the other. It just doesn't happen as often. But yeah, it's like knowing the difference between like true recognition, which I think is, yeah, like how that really lands, like someone that is
it really sees you.
honestly seeing you versus someone who's just
Yeah,
kind of throwing out some fancy words, like, or
right.
just trying to be nice for nice sake, versus
Hmm.
coming from a deep, truthful, honest place. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, that feels different versus someone, especially or in the industry like fashion, film, like blowing smoke up your ass just for,
Yeah,
like really noticing, yeah, the difference between the two is, I think, very important because, yeah, either way, you are consuming something. It's like, oh, do you want to consume the false compliment or do you want to consume
right.
the honest one? Because then, yeah, you can set like an energetic almost boundary with, yeah, people's energy or their words in that way. Um,
Hmm.
so a little earlier when we were speaking to how it can be so vulnerable to choose a life of being an artist or a healer, like what you even experienced from others when you made that transition into the healing work. Uh, like, what have you really learned about yourself and also then witnessing others by choosing such a unconventional life path to like best really navigate those highs and lows because it's not, we lack kind of that certain consistency or stability that maybe you would as a surgeon or a dentist, those
Hmm.
are very societal, acceptable career paths um, that everyone kind of stamps on us. What do you find has kind of helped you and others, I guess, make peace with that or go through those maybe more difficult times?
Yeah, I feel that an artist in any form of the word
Hmm.
is going to be asked to be authentic. And the journey of that, feeling safe enough to be your authentic self and express that through your work is a path to embodiment. And your art can do that for you. It's a relationship.
Hmm.
So, um, like, recently I've been working with a few screenwriters, and I've noticed that as they finish their scripts, they feel more themselves. I think that's also true um, in writing a book.
Hmm.
They're completing these big projects that is connected to your longing.
Hmm.
It's a path to embodiment. So anytime you're doing that, you're going to go through all the layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's joy, there's terror, there's shame,
Mm-hmm.
there's bliss.
Yeah.
So that's the creative process in action.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I like that you brought in the safety piece. It's almost, this has come up in conversations with a friend who's going through a lot, but I was kind of saying, like, I think this is what's really being asked of her at this time in her life. But then looking at the world, I was like, I think we're all being asked of this at this time of ourselves to have this unshakable strength, safety, and security within ourselves because we truly can no longer look for it anywhere outside of ourselves. Like,
Mm,
the world is making that so perfectly crystal clear.
yeah,
And yeah, so if we just keep going back to, yeah, our bodies, finding whatever it is within our soul, our spirit, yeah, to find that safety in ourselves, uh, is really what's going to get us through anything these days.
yeah. Safety lives inside the body.
Yeah, which
And
goes
so,
back to that like embodiment, like somatic. It feels like so much of that somatic work to build that. Sorry, what were you going to say?
yeah, I, I'm just thinking about the importance of safety and feeling safe in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is not a safe world. And so when you cultivate trust in in the wisdom of your body and your intuitive senses, um, and you can at least know yourself, right? And you can make conscious decisions that are, it's not always about safety. I don't mean that you have to stay protected 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
but a question I often ask my clients is, what do you need to feel safe enough to do the thing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is? And that's inner child work most
Mm-hmm.
of the time.
Yeah.
It goes straight to the inner child. What does your inner child need to feel safe enough to be on board with the adult self?
Mm-hmm.
And once your inner child feels safe with you, because that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
It's, it's not that they always need to feel safe with the other person. It's that they need to know that you have their back
Yep. I was just gonna say
and you're
that.
going to.
Do you got me?
Yeah.
'Cause it wasn't so great few decades ago.
Yeah.
Where were you? Um,
Right. So you might need to, with repetition, um,
Devotion.
prove in devotion, yes, prove that you're there, and then the inner child has, the key to your creativity. They know everything you love.
Oh my God. Yeah. They've been showing you this whole time, trying
Yeah.
to remind you, like, remember, we knew exactly what we were doing when we were 5 and 7.
Yes.
We're just getting back to that thing that you just somehow forgot. You loved it. Yeah, I know. Love you.
Yeah. It's a lot about responding, like responding to yourself
Mm-hmm.
with love and kindness and compassion, like responding to yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with everything that life is asking you,
Yeah,
asking of you.
right. Yeah. So, like, what would you, since you've worked with so many So for someone who's maybe starting to still like somewhat of your old path, like leaving their old job, starting a whole new career that's more authentic for themselves, or diving in 2 feet to live that artist life. Yeah, like what advice would you give them to create that very like conscious relationship with art, spirituality, like their intention and like rituals that you think, yeah, would just like support them on such a brave journey?
Yeah. Well, if you're an artist, you actually most likely don't need help with inspiration. You already know that,
Mhm.
right? Maybe you're going through uh, a blocked time, but
Yeah.
I I really think like that's the first step
Mm-hmm.
is trusting your muse. More, not only the thing that lights you up, like because there's that, it's really important,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also the things that call you deeper in to yourself.
That's that like spiritual kind of soul piece. Yeah.
Because it, sometimes I worry about how, you know, how much I talk about inspiration because it's a lot. I don't want it to sound like instant gratification. It's like this, like, oh, like everything's always like, oh, yes, inspiration's moving through me. And it's not always romantic.
No, it's definitely not always romantic.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, which speaking to that piece, have you found, do you ever know, especially those of us who are very consciously so plugged in to spirit, the universe, ideas, like knowing which ones are yours or meant for someone else, but it's just something you're kind of like
Mm,
noticing in the field, like, oh, is that actually mine? Am I meant to create this thing? Or is it something I'm just like tuning into that's coming like in the
yeah,
collective for someone else, because that I've noticed can be a very nuanced thing, at least for me
yeah.
at
That
times.
be a lot to navigate all the, you know, when you're a sensitive person, right? And there's so much data coming in.
Hmm.
It's like, whoa, I'm overloaded.
Yeah.
I think that, um, I mean, the truth is, I don't really know the answer to that
No.
question, but
Hmm.
I think that what's the ideas that stay with you,
Mm. It just like
um,
keeps.
they won't go away.
Yeah.
It's like knocking on your door. And I think maybe that's what a longing is.
Mm. Hmm.
You know, the difference between just a bunch of ideas that are popping in versus, oh, this is coming from a deep place within me. And things on the outside resonate with that longing and inspire that longing.
Mm.
And it
Like
stays with
getting
you.
those like reflections or like synchronicities on the outside to like
Yeah.
remind of that longing.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. It's like, don't forget about me. I'm still
yeah.
here. We still need to create this thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's hard too because we've taken our gifts and we've turned them into careers.
Hmm.
So then the career is its own driving force. And it can be hard to separate the
Yeah.
two, you know, and not get pulled in the career direction. And I'm not saying that careers are bad.
Hmm.
No, they're, it's wonderful
And we
to
need
have
to
a,
make money,
yeah,
unfortunately.
and yeah, it's our reality.
Yeah.
So, um, but I think that's often a defining moment in a person too is, or maybe I'll say in an artist, is when our career path has taken us on a trajectory that is causes a loss of ourselves. And then there's like a waking up that needs to happen, waking up to that and coming back to our longing.
Mm-hmm. Soul remembering.
Yeah.
Yes. At least that's what's coming. It feels like, yeah, that kind of soul retrieval
Of
where it's like
remembering.
not retrieving necessarily like a lost or trauma fragmented part, but like a soul, like a deep soul remembering piece. Yeah.
So you
Mm.
can see too, like just hearing you say that, I'm like, yeah, so coming back to your longing and saying yes to that is going to is going to show you um, the pieces, the fragmented pieces, and how to put those back together
Mm-hmm.
with authenticity. Um, so then the trauma just comes up. The trauma arises as you say yes to your longing, and um, that's the healing journey. It's a creative healing journey.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Creative hero's journey.
yeah, the heroine's journey.
Or the heroines, yes. Either or. Both are great. Oh man, thank you. That was, I love hearing you speak about what you do.
Thank
You're such
you.
a beautiful soul.
Well, thanks, Sasha. Thanks for offering this space for
Yeah,
me to talk about it.
yeah, my pleasure. I'm just honored that you could come and we can make it happen. Which speaking, so yeah, how can other you're right now, especially working with so many writers, um, so how can they reach out to you and connect or work with
Yeah.
you?
So my website is bluestarguidance.com, and I offer a free 1 hour creativity call.
Mm.
So if you're interested in that, you can, there's a form to fill out to request the call.
Mm-hmm.
And on the call, I ask a series of questions to help you connect with your creative longing and really feel clear on that,
Mm-hmm.
and to like sink into the energy of it so you feel that life force.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's time to for me to hold space for what you feel is in the way of bringing that longing to life. So um, there's both. It's like the deepening of excitement and creativity, and then also space to like identify what's in the way of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I offer my reflections and insights. And if at the end of the call um, you feel we'd be a good fit to work together, then I share my offerings.
Amazing. And do you have any like workshops or retreats coming up or things you're brewing to maybe in the near
Yeah,
future?
I wanna offer a free class pretty soon,
Okay.
probably in April for springtime.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So yeah, for anyone listening who'd be interested in that, definitely join my mailing list, which is on the homepage of my
Okay.
website. And also I share a lot of writing on Instagram. So that's Blue Star Guidance
Mhm.
on Instagram as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Thank you again for joining us, listening, watching, wherever you are in the world, in another episode of Light, Shadow, and Everything in Between with the lovely one and only ethereal, magical, powerful Maxine Dillon. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment. Let us know if there's anything you'd love us to discuss, certain themes, topics, things you want to learn about, especially my solo episodes or those with my buddy Colin and I on Cosmic Hour. We would love to hear it. But until next time, may you find your courage in the shadows, dance in the light. and create beauty with every moment in between. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.